Evening. Happy Wednesday. Just waiting for everything to catch up with the delay. There we go. Getting my screens to match up here. Get my tablet all warmed up. Alrighty. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another live. Hope everybody's doing well today. We had the retro rewind release go today, which includes the birthday box. I'm going to use some of the products tonight. Some of the products, most of the products I have are available outside the box, except I believe these two stencils. Hi, Mom. Welcome. How's your weather been today, Mom? It was kind of felt cold, but it was supposed to be 50. But I didn't feel like it. Let me get one of my extra eggs here put away. So, I didn't have a lot of time to do a bunch of stuff ahead of time because I just got my supplies on Monday, so I was furiously making some samples. So I didn't have a lot of time to prep ahead of time with this, but I kind of have an idea of what we're going to do. I thought I'd start by showing, this is the puzzling stamp set. It's this great puzzle cube. It has these You Color My World, Let's Figure It Out Together and Mix It Up sentiments. There is a coordinating die, which I don't have right now. I think they just came in today. But there is a matching stencil that goes with it. They also can be used on its own. And this stencil is designed to line up and color in your puzzle cube. So, I thought I'd show this. This is a card that we showed on social media today that I made. It's a magic picture changer card. So it says Your Color My World, and I stamped this with the Raven Detail ink on the heat resistant vellum, and then I put the icicle embossing powder over the top, and then I created this little frame out of the Jawbreaker paper pad, and then when you pull this up, it reveals a colorful puzzle cube. And you can leave the card as is. I did put it on a card base, but you could write your message in the back of this and stick it back inside. Or you could put it on the back of your card if you just used a piece of heavy cardstock, or inside. But I just thought I'd share this with you, that this is one of the samples I made for this card. So tonight I thought we would go ahead and use some of the other stencils. I have the Geostorm Slimline stencil here, the Kapow stencil here, which I think is really fun. I made a card today or yesterday that reminded me of the old Adam West Batmans on TV and comic books. And then we have Quench, which I thought maybe I'd make a card similar to the one I have made for my samples. And then I also thought, depending on time, we've got the Squiggles and the Totally 90s, I believe, stencil. These are only available in the box, though. So I thought we'd start with this one. So to start, just got a piece of cardstock here. And I'm going to go ahead and... not sure. I think I'm going to do both. When my sample, I just use the cup, but for the whole thing, I'm going to use the bottle too. So I need to grab some. I don't know where my paper tape is, so I'm just going to use some Post-it notes. And that's basically because I am a strong blender, so I go over the edges. And I can reuse these. Excuse me. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of that off just to protect my area. And I liked the Breakup Blue to make a glass color. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of my blending brushes here. And I will be able to, we're going to do most of this, and then we'll do the wet step at the end after I get it on a card. And then we'll, my blending brushes are a little dirty. This one is very heavily used, so it's got a lot of ink in it. So I'm going to see if I can freshen it up here a little bit. Just to give me some ease. All right, that feels a little better. So Breakup Blue is a very light ink, so it's going to be very hard to see on camera until I take the stencil away. You're supposed to get another storm, Mom? I know we're supposed to have some rain, but they're talking about the temperature drop tomorrow. Between tomorrow and Friday mornings, it'll be 20 or 20 some degrees. So I know we're supposed to get rain first and maybe an inch of snow, but it's supposed to be 40s and 50s next Wednesday, Thursday anyway. That's all I've seen so far. All right, so there we've got our bottle. It's very light, but I just want the color to be there so that when we pull it off, we'll see that there. Ooh, 3 to 6 inches. Yuck. That is yuck, Mom. You guys have had a lot. All right, I'm just going to wipe that off, and then I'm going to pull this back, and you will see the bottle. So there we've got our bottle. And the nice part is you can make this any type. You could make this a Mountain Dew. You can make this cherry cola. You can make it, you know, a Coca-Cola, which is what we're going to kind of do. We're going to make it a cola. So I'm just going to kind of line them up. I want them very close to each other. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball the edges here, the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down, protect our edges. Here a little bit. And then we'll get this, our ink. And we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to, once again, we're going to just ink around the edges. You could totally make the cups match your cups. You could use a light gray, you know, to kind of mimic, but I like the blue of the frosted blue, kind of gives it that glassy look. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and we're going to pull that off. So it's very light, if you can see that. So now to make our pop bottle, to make our pop, I am going to shift my stencil. Well, I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to go ahead and use, there's etched lines on this piece. So we're going to go ahead and actually going to do that kind of last because it's going to be wet. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. We're going to make just a clear glass bottle, no label. I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. So you can kind of tell on the bottle there looks like that insert part where you could have a label, but I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of mimic kind of like that. Is that Depression era glass, or, you know, old bell jars that have just a little bit right into that. I'm just going to put the cola. Right in there. I'll pull that up. So we've got our cola. And then I'm going to quick cut this down a little bit. Instead of using a die, I'm just going to cut it down. Oh, I'm going to cut it down to 3. I'm going to cut it more off the other side here. 3.75 by... let's do 5, because I thought it might be fun to mat this on. I have some leftover paper from the garden party this weekend that has that red or that black and white polka dot, which I thought was kind of fun. And we'll cut this down then to 4 I want 4 inches by 5 1/4. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to do 5 1/2 on this side. And then I'll switch it around over here and take off the other 1/4. Trying to mimic so that we don't have, I don't want, yeah, there we go. I wanted to have my polka dots on the bottom and the top, so I eyeballed that here a little bit. Okay. So get this put down, and then we'll get to our messy stuff. So we're just going to have that little bit of a border on the outside. This will be a kind of a quick card. It will have to dry overnight, but you will get the idea when it's done. And we're going to put this down. I could probably stamp my sentiment first, but just trying to eyeball this. I'm not the best at this. Just to kind of make sure our polka dots are not too bad. That looks good enough for me. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Misty. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this up in the corner. And now I thought we're going to use some glitter glaze. And I love in the sketchy sentiments that goes with the sketchy die, has this awesome stamp set that says "You are a classic," and cola is a classic drink. So I used this before, and I think I'm going to use it again. This one is what we need. We're going to stamp it right here, right up at the top. Let's make sure it's kind of straight here. Let's see, does it look straight there? Yep. And I'm just going to stamp that in Raven Detail ink. I want it to be nice and black. I'll stamp that a couple of times. And I like, it's got that retro sketchy feel to it too. All right, so we've got that. And then let's wipe this off and put this away so we can put some squeaky clean on there. So please make sure you stop in the store and check out the... Hello, Denise from Missouri. How are you? I am in Iowa, so we're not that far away from each other. I mean, we could be, depending on where you are in Missouri, because I'm way up at the top in Iowa. I'm using some of the Retro Rewind stamps or stencils tonight. So now that we have my first one started, I'm going to go ahead and put that on a card base, if I can find one here. There we go. I love the pre-scored card bases that we sell, so I stocked up on them on the last sale. So we're going to go ahead and get this put on here because I want to do the wet stuff so you get the idea, and then it can be aside to dry. When Christopher did the Retro Rewind release earlier today, it made me feel old. As we were talking about the 80s or the 90s, and I'm like, I know it was 30 years ago, but I graduated from high school, was in college, and had 2 babies all in the 90s. So, you know, and my babies are now graduated and moved on with their life. So I was like, oh my gosh, the 90s, where did they go? So I'm going to use this, and there is an etching on here that can help you line that up. I just kind of eyeballed it, and I'm going to go ahead and use my tape here again to help kind of tape it down and hold it in place since we're on our card base, which can be dangerous, but I'm going to live dangerously. So what I did for my sample, and of course I don't see it sitting right here, Where did I put it? All right, we're gonna go through my glazes here quick and see if I put it away. Okay, I have an old jar of it that needs to be used. So I'm not 100% sure where my new jar is, but this is my old jar. Oh, maybe not. This is pretty old. No, this one is really old. Well, we're going to change plans then because I don't see my glitter glaze anywhere. We will change it up just a little bit. And we will go ahead and use Raven Detail ink and a blending stone, or blending. I'm not going to use a blending brush for this because I want to just kind of pounce it in a little bit. And then what we will do is we will add, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off. Just because we can. There we go. So it'll be very dark. That's all right. We're going to go ahead and grab, this is the Fallen Snow glitter glaze. I will show you what the Raven looks like because I did use that on another card. Fletch has it. He probably does. He's right outside my door here chewing on a toy. I can hear him where my gate is up. Because he wants to come in and be with mommy. But so we're just going to go ahead and do that. We're going to very carefully lift this up. And I did get a little glitter glaze over the edge, which is fine. We can fix that. Because it's the, just going to quick scrape that away. I'm actually going to put it right on here because we're going to need some more. I must not have pressed that down too hard, which is fine. That happens once in a while. And grab a pick just to get that last little bit up. And then I will wipe away a little bit of it with this. Right there. There we go. So we've got, oh, honey, you need to come. You better get a treat. And we'll go ahead and wipe this off because we're going to use the polka dots too, which we're going to make it really, we're going to go, you know, some people are going to really go, oh no, but we're going to make it work. Well, first I'll grab a baby wipe here. We're going to wipe this off good so we don't spread it to anywhere else on my card. So, normally, this is something I would do I would have done ahead of time, had one done ahead of time, but like I said, I just ran out of time this week to have it dry. But we're going to wipe that off real good. Then we're going to get these bubbles. Now, how I did this before, because I did it when it was wet, I just grabbed it and I put it up and I held it with my hands. And I know I just touched it there, but I'm going to go ahead and just use the ink that's already on and just kind of put it on there quick. And then wipe it off just a hair, being careful right there by that spot. I could have masked that off, but I knew I was being very careful. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit of that leftover and sprinkle it in. I know I pushed it down on that, but I don't need to worry about it too much because I'm just pushing it in flat. Put a little bit of sparkle on those bubbles, and there you go. There's our first card. Let me see, set this off here to the side so I don't get stuff on everything. I'm going to wipe that off quick. Do a good wipe on them afterwards. And I will get that up close so you can see that. Just had my little sticky thing here. All right, well, I'll use my poke tool because I wiped it just a hair. I touched it. And there is our first card. So that'll dry and be really sparkly, and you can put some in the cola cup if you wanted, but I just assumed, that it's empty and, we're drinking the pop. So I'm going to put that one aside. Got our first card done there. And the Raven, no, it's not there. I'm not sure where that went to. I will have a card on social media coming up that has the Raven sparkle. The Raven glitter glaze, which is a little bit, you'll be able to see. Thanks, Mom. It reminds me of Dad. Dad and his, it shouldn't say cola, it should say something else, but, my dad was always drinking a different type of pop growing up, and it's the reason I can't drink it, because he would drink it warm. And who drinks a cola warm? Ugh. Sorry, Dad. Okay, next, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and play with this, the Kapow stencil. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of play around with maybe some fun colors, because this is a very bright, this reminds me, like you said, of like Batman, comic books. So I have some Rena Electropop inks here that are very, very bright inks. Not sure what colors we're going to go with here. I've got the whole set because I really like the neon colors, and we're going to go ahead and make a background with these pieces first, and then we'll worry about the rest. Now for these inks, instead of a blending brush, again, I'm going to use Ranger ink daubers, mostly because I like them a little bit better with this type of ink. It's not really, I don't know for sure. I don't think it's a pigment ink, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a dye ink either. I think it might be a hybrid ink. And so it's just a little bit different. So, and I can get a little bit deeper color with these than you can with a blending brush. So I use both. Of course, it's moving. I'm gonna use some pixie spray and get my blending buddy out here. So that was the orange glow. So I got a little bloob there, but we'll fix that. I'm just going to wipe them off kind of in between a little bit. Let's grab, I'm going to stick and stab that here somewhere. Go ahead and we're going to just stick it down on there. And I am going to stick some pixie spray quick on my stencil, mostly because with the little sayings here, that'll help. So I just sprayed that off camera. You can't really see it. I'm a heavy pixie sprayer. And then I just kind of let it dry for a minute. I'll go ahead and I'm going to let these overlap a little bit. Once again, we're going to use our little bit of Post-it tape here to cover up. And I think next we'll do Poppin' Pink. Pop another one of these blending things on. The card I made earlier this week, I used my blending brushes, and the color is good, but not quite as good and poppy as when I use these. And these are fresh daubers, so they're just really, really, I'll get this one out of the way before we use that wrong. So we're getting that fresh color. All right, let's wipe this off. And then I think what we'll do is we'll do some black for the wording to make them pop. So we've got the pink. We use this one. I'm going to go ahead and put this one kind of, I know I did that angle again, but I think I'm still going to, I want them to overlay. I'm going to do it straight on, I think. Yeah, straight on. That'll work. This one's a little farther apart, so I don't have to worry too much about the ink blending. We'll get some yellow in there. That's my embossing ink one, so we will grab a new dauber here. I think this is really fun to make superhero cards, like, or your super type card, you know, superstar type card, or you've got this, you know, encouragement cards for someone who's going to be facing something. You know, I know SATs, ACTs are coming on. Well, you know, taxi service, hello, welcome. That's part of the job, right? Thanks for popping in. I'm just kind of, we already got one card done. We're working on another one here with this fun one. So the Kapow stamp set stencil. All right, next I think we're going to use Loud Lime. And I'm just popping these on top. When I'm all done, I will take these off and I will put them on the bottom and store them underneath. I didn't put a lot of, and now the Loud Lime is, sometimes it's hard to see the difference. So I might switch over to the other once it's next to this yellow. So I think what we'll do is we'll switch over to the Screamin' Green. Thanks, Shannon. I was thinking that these are, the other night, I was thinking the Electropops inks, of course, have to go with this stencil, with these, with this Retro Rewind set. So I'm excited to make a couple other cards using a couple of the stencils that I haven't used yet. So there's the Screamin' Green. And then we'll grab the little one. We'll put the little one back in here again. Put that one straight on again. Put that one straight on like that. And we'll get the blue. Do I have another dot? I do. And this one is Blair and Blue. Pop it in. This makes for a fun backdrop, you know, just with these colors alone. I haven't used them in a long time, so I thought this would be a perfect time to get them out. All right. So I love that. Look at it made that nice purple color. I think that we're going to go ahead and put the medium one here. I'm going to do it at an angle again. I'm going to cover up those two. We might get a little bit of a messy color because we're going to use some red here, and red and green don't always play nice together. But we'll make it work. And I'm going to go ahead and use, this one's got a little bit of orange on it, but it's an old, it's been on there a long time, so. All right. And I love that you can get such a deep, when you get a deep, deep color when you use these Ranger tools. Versus, like I said, I do like blending brushes. I use them for majority of my stenciling, but when I want that deep color, I find I can use the brushes easier. All right, and then we're gonna pull, I'm gonna do the medium one again here, and then we'll put the couple big ones back here with another couple colors. So we'll do the medium one here. I'm gonna turn it just a little bit. We'll get that purple, poppin' purple. Gotta have my purple, right, everyone? Purple's my favorite. And these are, like I said, fresh ink daubers. So I'm getting them in and used fresh right now. And that's actually, you know, not quite as purple as I would have expected it to be. So I may mix that. I really like this purple that they have down here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the blue over that. because I want that really deep blue, so, or deep purple. So I'm going to go ahead and mix some blue with that and make it more purpley. I love it. There we go. So then get this big one here, and that's where we'll cover up our little blurb here. I think, let's see, maybe blue again. Let's put blue up here and we'll put yellow down there. Does that sound good? Darker color up at the top here. Ooh, let's cover up our edges here. Almost made it big. No. We're covering up our tip of our kapowie thing. And then we got to put our sentiments on. There we go. We got the blue. And then I also am going to use the big one again over here in this corner. We're going to wipe it off just briefly. And we got this fun background that we can put some wording on. Grab the yellow here. There we go. That was fun. I'm going to have to make a rainbow card with these because those are just amazing. If we have time, we'll do that with the next stencil. So there, we've got our background. Now you could go in and add a little bit more here and there, so you had a couple more, but I like the edges on that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start using the words. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. We have 7, so I don't know if we're going to use them all, but I'm going to go ahead and choose some fun ones here. And this is again where we're going to use the deep raven detail, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that sponge dauber instead of a brush because we're going to dab them on. I'm going to pounce it more because I don't want to. The delicate letters are so delicate. And then look at that. Isn't that awesome? Look at how that pops. Oh my gosh, is that awesome? That's better than I expected it to look. Smash. Here, let me pull it up to this. Look at that. Smash. And I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit so we're not transferring any ink over here. I think what I'll do is grab a baby wipe because we don't want the ink to, the black to get too much. I think if that happens, I would just splatter, and we might splatter some black on it yet. All right, I'll give my stencil a good bath after. There we go. I just wiped it quick with a baby wipe. I'll set that off to the side here somewhere. My desk is a mess. All right, we got smash. I'm gonna go ahead and let's put. I want that buzz part right there because I like that. I know I'm off screen. I will move it up. I'm just gonna quick make sure I don't overlap here or here. I'm just gonna quick. Look at how deep, and that's a beautiful black color. Wipe it off a little bit here and there. Reveal. Buzz. And I think that you can use, if you use this type of a card, you don't need to put another sentiment on, but you could. I don't know if I'm going to. Let's see. Thunk looks like it fits in really good right there. We might not fill all of them in. I just kind of want to fill them in where they fit because I want them only in the colored part. And once again, got that really delicate area in the end, so I'm just gonna kind of dab it. Maybe twist a teeny bit, but not much, so that you get that. I'll pull these off. Funk. All right, let's see what else we have. We have roar and kapow. Oh, we got to use kapow. Let's see. Can I get kapow? Oh, I think we can just. we'll put Kapow in here because I definitely want to use Kapow because I think that one's funny. I haven't watched an old Adam West Batman in forever, but I'm gonna need to find one. I used to watch them on Sundays with my son. It's my favorite. He's my favorite Batman because I just think the show is just fun. All right, I'm gonna quick wipe these off just so we get some of that extra. If I have time, I'll grab a sentiment from my stash, but I don't know if I know where it is right now. We got Roar, Pop, Bang. Let's see. How about Pop? Pop right here on the red looks good. Is everyone ready for spring? It's coming. Oh, shoot, I just about screwed that up. I just put my, see, I just put that in. I'll have to wipe that off good. Spring starts officially on Monday, I believe. I am ready for mushroom season. All right. So if I can get them in, I will put them in. Yep, we're gonna fit, Bang's gonna fit there, and we got Roar. Will Roar fit here? It will. Just fit there. All right, we might put a couple of those other ones. We're going to use them all if we can, because that's what makes this fun. All right, we got Roar, and last but not least we have Bang, and Bang will fit right. It's overlapping that purple just a bit. It'll be okay. We'll make it work. Doing that B and A right away because there's a delicate spot in the A that I don't want to move. So we get the detail. Awesome. All right, here we go. Look at that. That turned out awesome. Now we could add some shimmer and shine to this. Yeah, see, we could add, you could put the Kapow down there. You know, like the Pop could probably go. Where's the Pop? Pop could go back up here. Why don't we do that? Just so they don't look left out. Okay, Pop. And I think we're going to do, yeah, let's do Kapow. No, Kapow's over there. Let's do a Thunk. We'll do Thunk again. I'm just using what's left on my brush, on my ink dauber. There we go. I love it. Awesome. So we got our background. I'm going to go ahead and pop it off my stick and stamp mat. Oh, I have a piece of tape stuck on there. That is not good. I don't know why. Did I have... Oh, I think there was tape on the back of my... there was tape on something else. Yeah, there's tape on here. I don't know why that happened. All right, let's take that off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly, I think I have it handy, my matte mist. Let that sit for just a second, and then we'll wipe it off. Now, these are a heavily pigmented ink. These are heavily pigmented type inks, so there might leave a little bit of color behind, but I'm not gonna, that doesn't bother me. I'll just leave that, wipe that off. And I'm gonna set this aside to dry because we don't need that anymore. And I will set my stencil aside to get cleaned up later. And we're gonna cut this down just a little bit, and I think we should mat it on black. I got ink pads everywhere. Like I said, we could add some sparkle to this, but I'm not sure how that would work. So let's cut this down a little bit first, and then we'll see what we think. I'm gonna cut down. just enough to be able to mat it on black. Now, I don't know if I want, should we add sparkle to it? Should we add some embossing powder to it? I think we're gonna just add it to the whole thing. Okay? I'm gonna use the fairy dust so it gets it a little sparkle too. Let's see, because these inks stay a little bit wet. And it'll just add an extra kind of funness to this card, I think. Sparkle. And we're going to very, very, very carefully heat emboss that. All right. And then we'll get it matted and down and we'll see where we're at. All right. So I'm going to very carefully hold it off to the side. I'm trying to pick it up so I don't wipe any of the embossing. So I'm just letting the embossing gun heat up a little bit. And then I can do a corner and then I can hold it. Okay, I'm going to hold on and turn it a little bit so I can hold it better. I love watching embossing powder melts. And then I just turn it in the light, make sure nothing looks. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. I love it. So now I'll show you quick. You can see all that sparkle. Because that's the fairy dust, which is like a clear with a little bit of glitter in it. Let's wipe this off quick. I have a black mat here. Looks like that should fit on here. Yeah, I had a piece of tape stuck to the back of my cardstock or something. We made it work. Go ahead and put this down. And now that's kind of hard to see. The black's kind of hard to see on my mat, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. There we go. And we'll grab another card base here. That is not a card base. Line it up quick. All right. And we're going to go ahead and mat that right on our card panel. So later after, I'm going to see if I can go through to finish off my card. I think I'm going to go ahead and dig through my stash. I have to have a superhero stamp set somewhere that I can grab a sentiment that says you're my hero or you're a superstar or something like that. And I'm going to put that on the inside. Card base is just a little bit longer than my card panel, so we're going to trim it down just a hair to get the white off there. There we go. And there we go, card number 2. You could add sparkles, you could add gems. Like I said, we could add splatter, but I kind of like it, just this whole big, pretty thing, you know, with the color in the background. And, you know, it would work for a little kid's birthday or a birthday party card. to see if I can wipe some of this black off that I just accidentally got on here. Quick. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and we will go ahead and make one more card using one of the other stencils here quick. Let's set this aside. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, the Total 90s. And let's just kind of play with a slimline background. I'm going to go ahead and this is the slimline. I'm going to go ahead and just use some pixie spray, and we're going to just spray it down. And we'll just play with some of the colors, some of these fun Electropop colors with this stencil. So line it up straight, of course. I want to use this big spot right here. Of course, it's still not straight. Maybe my cardstock's not straight. That's very possible. Let's see. We'll check it out. Nope, my cardstock's not straight. That's why. Well, this is just a scrap. Let's see if I've got a better piece here. Here, this feels better. That feels kind of thin. Let's just check it out, make sure. Sometimes if I cut too many card pieces at once, you know, they don't quite want it at 3 1/4 anyway, so we'll cut off a little bit extra. I like my card bases, my slimline cards at 3 1/4 by 8 or 3 1/4 by 6 for the mini slim. Okay, we might even make this into a mini slim card. Grab some post-it note tape, post-it notes here again. I had post-it note tape, but I think I might have used it all up. Let's stick this down here. We're going to go ahead and go, and I think we'll just go in rainbow order. I'm going to start with the pink. I usually start with yellow, but I think what I'll do is pink first. I'm going to just go ahead and do the same thing I did before. I see I don't quite still have it centered, but I'm just going to do that kind of pouncing and twisting motion. Okay, so we got the pink. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my yellow quick. Right in the middle here, so that when I go to overlap them, I don't have I don't contaminate my yellow. Okay, we got our pink. I like to do pink sometimes I do a red in my rainbow, but tonight we're going to do pink. We're going to go ahead and grab that. I'm going to see if did I contaminate? Yeah, I did. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off and get a new foam square. That black was there, much better. That's much better. I'm going to have them overlap just a little bit. And then I am going to just put a little bit of the yellow back here, just so kind of blend that out a little bit. It takes, sometimes when you have to blend with the blending brushes, you got to go back and forth between the two to kind of get rid of a harsh line. But there's just a little bit of yellow there or orange there, that won't matter so much. All right, yellow, green. It was, if you didn't watch Christopher's live earlier where he talked about the everything came out with this. You should go back and watch it. It was fun to talk about the 90s. There was a couple of questions, see if you know the answer before the people that were watching answered. Like I said, you know, 90s is the 90s is retro. That's crazy. Crazy talk. All right, so we've got our green. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off a little bit. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to finish the pattern. I don't know if I want to continue the pattern. I guess you can continue the pattern. I haven't tried this yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put that, and we're going to overlap it just a little bit so that everything's lined up. I know I'm going to move some of these out of the way here so you can see when you get to the bottom. So I'm lining up the stencil and overlapping just a hair of the design. Make sure it's straight. The lines are straight. Like I said, I don't know if my cardstock is cut 100% straight. And I'm going to go ahead and tape off the top. And we're going to continue the green just a little bit. I guess I need some more green ink. I love how that stencil matched up perfectly. Right, that's great. Did I use the wrong, no, I was going to say, did I use the wrong dauber? But no, I didn't. All right, so we got that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the blue. We're going to line that up over this. And I'm going to go blue all the way to the bottom because I really want to use the red to make that deep purple because I really liked that purple. And then I think for me, I do want to do a bold sentiment. A nice big black bold sentiment, I think again. We'll probably cut the panel down just a little bit more because there's not a lot on this edge. I probably should have moved it over more, but that's okay. And then we'll go ahead and grab this red. We're just going to go ahead and do it over the bottom here. I think it was the pink that might have overlapped to make it really purpley, but that's fine. It's a darker purple. It's not the right purple. I didn't match that up right, did I? Oh well. We'll add some purple to the top. We can cut it off if we need to. You didn't get that same bright purple that we did before. But that's fine. It's still purple. All right, let's peel it off and look. So we got kind of that indigo to purple. And then, yeah, I know we've got a line where we kind of matched up our stencil. We can fix that. So let's go ahead and chop this off a little bit. I think, to be honest with you, I see this. I think we're going to line it back up here. Let's see, where does it line up? We're going to line it back up and we're going to add that red to the top. I'm going to go ahead and line up it. Nope, I got to line up this one. I'll line that up and we're going to line up the red at the top, and then we'll chop off a little bit of that because the box doesn't quite go all the way up. We'll just go ahead and add some red to that. Finish it off at the top so we don't have to chop off too much at the top. Here we go. Perfect. And then I'm just going to push some stuff out of our way and cut this down. So like I said, I should have lined it up on the edge, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. Not quite straight. There we go. I'm going to just, I'm going to grab a tiny little brush that I have here. This is just a makeup brush. I'm going to just color in this corner here so that it's like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tape off with this. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit more red in there in that corner, overlap them just a tad to get rid of that white space. I think I can use the red dauber actually too. There we go. A little bit of the pink. There we go. We got that pattern all the way to the top. I love it. So now we need a nice big bold sentiment. I think we're just going to make this a quick happy birthday card, and we're going to get it layered on some black. I'm going to grab a black panel. I keep lots of black and white panel just empty on my side of my desk over there so I can layer them. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. And I know that that panel is not straight either. That black panel is not straight either, but that's okay. We're going to cut it off. Then we'll get it on our card base. Okay, chop it down. I think we're going to chop it down just a little bit more. That looks pretty good. You can, I think, I'm going to go ahead. You could go ahead and put a line right through the middle here because I had that little bit of overlap, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and first of all make sure this is straight. It's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here. And I'm just going to rub my finger down it because it's such a tiny piece. And then we're going to line this up on our thing here, and we will click. Using the grid, excuse me if my head gets in the way. Oops, I moved it. Let me get that up just a little bit higher. Tiny little thing is hard to control. Yeah, keep moving it. That's the one thing that once in a while with the glass mat is that things can move easy. All right, we'll hold that down for a minute so the glue can dry. If I have to add a little more glue, I will. Looks like I might need just a teeny bit more glue right here. Here we go. We got that. That covers up that little bit of a boop boop. And then we need a sentiment, and we will be finished. Alright, let's move some stuff out of the way, and let's see here. I'm going to grab the occasional greetings because I think there's a happy birthday stamp set on here that works. And I'm just going to grab that. Happy birthday to you. Really, this would be good for any card, you know. I mean, you could do an anniversary card, you could do a congratulations card. I just think it makes it kind of a fun birthday card. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put it right here in this big circle. Not quite straight. I'll use the grid lines to line that up. I'm just going to eyeball it. There we go. And we'll grab our Reeve and Detail ink. And then there's a little bit of green and yellow that didn't blend 100% there either. That'll help camouflage that. Get one more here. There we go. And then put it on our card base. And I have some of our pre-cut slimline card bases right here. You do have to score them, but that is because you can make these a mini slim card by turning them sideways, which you could easily do with this stencil, since it's a 6x6, and you wouldn't have to match it up. I'm gonna go ahead, 3.5, flip it over, 3.5, trying not to get smudges on it because I do have smudges on my hands. Grab my bone folder here. See, I did get a smudge on there. Oh, we gotta get this desktop cleaned off before I make any more smudges. I see ink on there. All right, that's better. We got a little bit of smudging on it, but I can erase some of that quick before I put our card base on it. If I can get my eraser up. It's very light. Really just have to worry about the edge here because the rest of it was covered up. Okay. Let's go ahead and put our card, our adhesive on and finish up. All right. I'm gonna cut that off just a little bit more, it looks like. There we go. Yeah, it looks like my bottom is just a little bit long. Okay, we got that done. Let's get it on our card base. There we go. All right. Card number 3 is done. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I hope you had fun. Please go over to the store and check out the Retro Rewind release. Get the box. Some of the stamps and dies they're available with a bundle now, so that you can get them at a good price, like the yo-yo stamp set and the roller skate stamp set. And I'll grab my other card here. And thank you for joining me this evening, and I appreciate y'all. Please give me a thumbs up, and let me know which was your favorite card, or what was your favorite thing about the 90s down in the comments. And have a great night, and I will see you next week. Okay? Good night. Bye.